bit delayed, guys. I've been very, very, very busy. I've already got comments on, and this is on my phone because obviously I've been busy on my laptop uploading a new video that is out tonight. If I could turn my camera around, I can, and I will. Here it is. 5 o'clock today. My new episode is out. I met this absolute legend here, Fogden, back on Saturday as we faced Bolton Wanderers away. Very tight match it was, but you'll see more of that in the video later on. Subscribe to Theo, subscribe to his dad, and subscribe to Ben's Football Vlogs. Another Bolton fan. And I know Ben's going to be trying to hit 1,000 soon. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this on my phone because I'm trying to do everything I can to get this video promoted when it premieres at 5 o'clock. Because that felt amazing to me back on Saturday meeting. That felt amazing on Saturday meeting one of my favourite YouTubers in Fogden. Honestly, I couldn't have been happier in any way at all. In any way at all. I'm not joking about that at all. But anyway, the main purpose of today is that we've signed another player, and he played on Saturday, fun enough, when he came on from the bench against Bolton. We've signed Jay Matete on loan. Not on loan, sorry. Jay Matete, we've signed from Sunderland. A very big signing indeed. It's already our 4th signing of this January transfer window. We started off with Ben Waine from the league in New Zealand. Then we went from the heartbreak that is bringing Morgan Whittaker back to Swansea City. We then signed Callum Wright on loan from Blackpool. From Blackpool. He was on loan at Cheltenham for 2 seasons. And I'll tell you what, Callum Wright, I watched him play against Bolton and I thought he was magnificent, personally. I thought he was absolutely magnificent. Sorry, I do apologise. Morgan is right there. Jay Matete is on loan from Sunderland. So it really depends on how we do play this for the end of the season regarding this new signing. Because personally, I thought he was absolutely magnificent against Bolton. And of course, the other signing we've had so far is Saxon Early on loan from... Well, no, Saxon Early we've signed from Norwich. He was on loan at Stevenage. And he could be a huge one to watch as well. And of course, we've signed him permanently from Norwich, Saxon Early. If any of you saw the Bolton match, Joe Edwards got sent off right at the end of the game. So I have a feeling that Saxon Early and Ballymumba, Shuey is going to 100% start for the Ipswich game this weekend. We got Bristol Rovers tomorrow night in the Papa John's Trophy. And I think that's a game that Shuey is going to completely... That's a game Shuey's going to completely show all of our signings going into tomorrow night's match to see what they're all capable of, basically. But as for Jay Matete, his youth career was at Reading and then at Fleetwood. He then had 27 appearances and 1 goal at Fleetwood. He's a midfielder. Then he went on loan at Grimsby with 20 appearances and 3 goals. And then 22 appearances but no goals at Sunderland before joining us on loan from the Black Cats. And I'll tell you what, I'm really excited for this guy for the end of this season. Signing both Jay Matete and Callum Wright towards the end of the season. Morgan Whittaker has now departed. Callum Wright joins us permanently, and Matete joins us on loan from Sunderland. And as these two are attacking midfielders and more or so playing towards the wing, I'm just really hoping that we can bring the best out of these two. So it feels like missing Whittaker doesn't really like miss much, if you get what I mean in that context. But FOTMob gave Callum Wright a 5.7 in the game against Bolton, which I completely disagreed with. I thought out of our attacking three, he was by far our best one out of the three. Cosgrove hardly got a chance. He hardly no one hardly gave him a chance or anything for him to have a go against Bolton's defence and goalkeeper James Trafford. While Danny Mayer, I thought, was our worst player against Bolton, personally. And more about that you'll find out in my Bolton video itself. But I'll tell you what. What I find positive is that it's now been 9 days already in January, and now it's been 9 days already going into the transfer window. And Argyle have already signed 3 players permanently, 1 player on loan. Add that together, of course, 4 players so far this January transfer window. And when Matete came on against Bolton, I genuinely thought he looked quite promising. I thought he was better than Ben Waine. I thought he was better than Callum Wright. And, well, you can't really say much about Saxon Early because he came on in the 90th minute, didn't he? So, yeah. Obviously, yeah, breaking news. I was meant to react to this the other day. I've been so busy. I've uploaded my Wimbledon video from the Papa John's game. And now, later on, of course, as you've just seen at the start of this video, this live stream, my away day at Bolton is going to be out at 5 o'clock. Premiering at 5 o'clock this evening, towards this evening. So that's going to be very interesting for sure. But yeah, it's going to be a quick live stream because I wanted to react to the news that we've signed not Ben Waine. I've already technically done that already, but hadn't quite made a live stream video out of it. Whereas Morgan Whittaker leaving, Callum Wright signing, Jay Matete signing, this is all completely different. Now signed 4 players this January. But yeah, another signing secured in the bag, even if it is on loan, for us boys in green and the army that Steven Schumacher is trying to put us out there to get promoted to the Championship for next season. And I'll tell you what, it's good. Like I've said before already, it's going to be an interesting second half of the season. Got a big game against Ipswich on Saturday and the Papa John's game against Bristol Rovers. 2 games that the new signings can all try and prove themselves already before we face Cheltenham at home, Accrington Stanley away, Derby at home, Sheffield Wednesday away, and then our so-called Dockyard Derby against Portsmouth on February the 11th. Which, of course, will obviously be a big game because, well, it's Argyle Pompey at the end of the day, let's face it. So, yeah, another new signing for us boys in green, Plymouth Argyle. And, yeah, that's I will be honest, that's all I wanted to say, really. I'm really excited for this guy coming into the end of the season. Who knows, we might sign him permanently. But, to be honest, the only negative in all this is that I've been hearing fans around. Lately that we should go and sign Whittaker permanently from Swansea for about $1 million or something. Which, to be fair, for $1 million. Morgan's just said Robbie Keane might be managing Portsmouth. That is very true. I did hear that. Robbie Keane, Liam Manning, I can't believe as well, fun enough. Robbie Keane, Liam Manning, Chris Wilder and Liam Richardson, I've heard, are all in that race to become the new Portsmouth manager. I heard there was even links with Steve Bruce and Sean Dyche as well to manage the South Close Club at Fratton Park. So if that does happen, that'll be absolutely mental for Portsmouth. It'll be mental if they sign Chris Wilder, 100%. I think he's a fantastic manager. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who manages that football club at the end. Only one team in Devon, loan or permanent. Jay Matete is a loan, mate. So, yeah, Shuey has been busy. You are spot on. He has been busy. But, But yeah, honestly, this is going to be a really interesting second half of the season. Now that we've already signed 4 players, 3 permanently, the fourth one, Matete, on loan at Plymouth Argyle Football Club. Shuey means business. Shuey honestly means business for basically this game. Not the next few games, just in general, Bristol Rovers and Ipswich, but like for the rest of the season. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens really towards the end of the season. There has been breaking news, by the way, that Dan Scarr has been nominated for the PFA Award, and I'll tell you what, he absolutely deserves it, especially for Argyle because personally, I thought he was our best player during December. I thought he was absolutely outstanding throughout the entire month of December, Dan Scarr. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how he does for the rest of the season. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love the guy to bits. He's been absolutely brilliant for us. While we're here, of course, Jay Matete has signed. So yeah, let's read what the news had to say when we signed Jay Matete. I did have a question there on the chat saying, "Are you going to Exeter away?" Well, let's be honest, I should be. It is Exeter away after all, but it might be really difficult. And I know that sounds bad, but it's because after doing 4 years of university and me not being able to get a season ticket this season, it might be a struggle, Exeter away. But I'd have to try and pull through with someone trying to get me a ticket, basically. Obviously, if I do, it'll be brilliant for the channel and stuff. And even if I don't, I'll still go to Exeter, obviously, for the day anyway. And then, basically, if I can't bloody get a ticket for the match, I'm basically just gonna react to the game while I'm at the pub, basically. So so if I can't go to Exeter away, basically I just have to rely for it to be on Sky, so I can go to a pub in Exeter to watch it, as long as I don't get mobbed by Exeter fans in the pubs, and as long as everyone treats me nicely and equally. That's all I care about. So yeah, well, like I said, we will see what happens regarding that. It's in April. It's ages away still. We got Ipswich away first, and that I am going to 100%. It's going to be a massive game on Saturday. A massive, massive game on Saturday. So yeah, that's all I can say to that, really, about that. So yeah, Argyle have bolstered their midfield ranks with the signing of dynamic midfielder Jay Matete from Sky Bet Championship side Sunderland on loan until the end of the season. Matete, 21, younger than me, becomes the 4th addition to the Argyle squad in just the 6th day of the January transfer window, adding strength in depth as the Pilgrims hunt a return to the second tier of English football for the first time since 2010, like what I've been banging on about all season, basically. The Lambeth-born midfielder began his career in the academy at Reading before departing the Royals to sign scholarship terms at Fleetwood Town, where he would spend 3.5 years in 2018. Having shown glimpses of his immense potential in EFL trophy fixtures, Matete began to feature with regularity in the Lancashire side's matchday squad at League One level, and in January 2021 he swapped the Fylde Coast for Humberside to expedite his development, joining Grimsby Town on loan until the end of the season. Jay made 20 appearances for the Mariners in the second half of the 2021 League Two campaign, netting 3 times, including opening the scoring after 32 seconds against Argyle's weekend opponents, Bolton Wanderers. A screamer in a 2-1 win over Oldham Athletic, and a goal against the Pilgrims' Devon neighbours, the annoying, rotten cousins, Exeter City. The following season, all-action midfielder Matete established himself as a firm regular at Fleetwood. Jay's impressive displays in a struggling side attracted the reported attention of a number of the division's biggest sides, including Ipswich. It was Sunderland, though, who would swoop to sign the midfielder on deadline day, just 11 days before his 21st birthday, adding power and tenacity to a Black Cat side which would earn a long-awaited promotion via the playoffs a few months later. Our manager, Stephen Schumacher, said, "I am delighted that Jay Matete has agreed to join us at Plymouth Argyle. He is another young, talented and hungry player added to the squad that will strengthen our chances to stay at the top end of this division." Jay's performance data from last season was outstanding, which led Sunderland to pay a big fee and take him from Fleetwood. He then gained invaluable experience of competing at the top end of League One to eventually gain a promotion to the Championship. We hope that Jay can bring his quality to Argyle and add some extra bite and aggressiveness to our midfield area. So yeah, welcome Jay. Welcome to the best football club in the world, the mighty Green Army. Up the Janners. Head of recruitment Jimmy Dickinson said, "We are very pleased to secure the signing of Jay. He's a player that we have tracked and admired for some time. He adds depth and diversity to the Gaffer's midfield options, bringing qualities we have identified as important, particularly in recovering possession in effective areas of the pitch. Jay has an opportunity to make a real impact in our midfield over the second half of the season, and we are excited to see what he brings to Argyle." Matete will wear the number 28 jersey, and his shirt is sponsored by Steve Hoskin Construction. Big shout out to them. Welcome to Home Park, Jay. So let's see what he had to say during his first interview. Jay said, "It was quite the unorthodox arrival." Actually, no, well, this is what Argyle's saying in general. Actually, before I go on to this, I had some more comments, so I'm gonna read what they are if I can. I'll just get them up a second. Okay, let's have a look. Only one team in Devon saying, "Hope we don't mess up this one time of the year again." I think we all do, mate. I think we all don't hope that we mess up this season, with the season we've pulled off so far as well. So, yeah. But I don't want to think worryingly or pessimistically. I want to think forward and realistically and optimistically. Is Exeter Plymouth a top derby? Because I don't think I've ever seen videos of any type of violence. I would say one of the top derbies, 100% in this country, but I wouldn't say like the toppish derby. Personally, and this is an unpopular opinion here, but I personally think I'd say if I had to choose one or two, the two best derbies in England for me are actually two opposite sides of the country. Newcastle Sunderland, one of them, the Tyne Wear derby, and the other one, Southampton Portsmouth, the South Coast derby. I just look at those two derbies thinking they both get literally as heated as possible. It's mental, those two derbies. If any of you watched my Exeter game back at Home Park in October, my Exeter video, at the end of the match, I spoke to a few Exeter fans, and some of them were invited into the Green Taverners at full time, which I have to be honest, I was quite shocked about because I didn't expect it at all, just in case of the hostility and all that kind of stuff. But that was also because they were also good friends of good mates of mine that supported Argyle. So I'm actually not surprised it was all right, that it was fine at the end. But the thing is, what you saw at the end of my Exeter video, I could never see at a South Coast derby between Portsmouth and Southampton. I honestly think it gets that heated, but I don't know. That's just my personal preference opinion, that I think the two most heated derbies in this country are Portsmouth, Southampton and Newcastle, Sunderland. But there's so many. West Ham, Millwall, Ipswich, Norwich, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Birmingham, West Brom, Wolves. There's so many. There is so many. So you go on each corner of the of England and Wales, and you'll find some sort of footballing rivalry. So there you go. But anyway, let me read the end of this. So it was quite the unorthodox arrival for Jay Matete as an Argyle player. Instead of the journey to Plymouth, either taking in the South Devon coast on the train or seeing Dartmoor loom up alongside the A38, Matete left Sunderland early on a Friday afternoon, crossing the north of England to arrive at Argyle's overnight halt in Greater Manchester ahead of Saturday's game against Bolton Wanderers. Matete, a 21-year-old midfielder, has signed a deal to join Argyle on loan for the rest of the season before leaving Wearside, and upon arrival at the team hotel, got his new togs, met the management team, then fell into the hands of the club media team for the obligatory photos, reveals and interviews. I can't speak today, it's mental. I'm delighted to be here, he said to Argyle TV. When the interest came about, it was something that grabbed my attention. It's a quick turnaround, meeting at the hotel and a game tomorrow. But it's a big game, which he's not wrong about at all. And I'm looking forward to it. Matete broke through at Fleetwood, having a loan spell at Grimsby in Sky Bet League 2, before returning to the Northwest to establish himself for Fleetwood in League One. Last season, his form for the Cods attracted the attention to fellow League One side Sunderland, who Jay joined in January 2022. So he's been at Sunderland for a year. Matete assisted the Black Cats to promotion via the League One playoffs and played 9 games this season, all away from home, curiously, before becoming a mighty pilgrim. I've had a loan before I went to Grimsby, he said. That really helped. I played a lot of games. The transition from under-23s football to men's football is totally different. It has gone quick, going from League 2 to League 1 to the Championship. You can feel the different levels, but it's all good experiences. The game time I have got in the Championship, I have enjoyed it. It's different, it's quicker. 3 of Jay's 41 games during 2021-22 were against Argyle and were all draws. Fleetwood drew 1-1 at Home Park before a 3-3 draw at Fleetwood's ground, the Highbury Stadium, which, again, I'm still not surprised about considering our record against Fleetwood, before Jay returned to PL2 with Sunderland, and a 0-0 draw near the end of the season at Home Park, of course, that is. It is clear that in those games, Argyle's style of football made an impression, as did the club's fantastic following. Now Matete wants to give the Green Army a day like he experienced with Sunderland last season. Argyle are always a tough team to play against, play good football, said Jay. I remember playing at Home Park. The atmosphere was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was one of the reasons I came, because you've got a good fan base. You have had a really good season so far, and it is something I wanted to be a part of. Hopefully, I can help a real promotion push and help you to the Championship. I know what a great feeling it is to get promoted. Doing it last year, it is something the fans will remember forever. Hopefully, we can give them this memory. Jay, you know what? If you do, it will be the cherry on top of a cake to see us back in the league we fully deserve to be for the first time since 2010. It's been a 13-year wait. Honestly, I'm really excited to see this guy play for us, honestly. It's going to be really interesting to see how he does and how the season unfolds, of course, for Argyle. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring you all the news that, of course, Jay Matete has signed for us on loan from the Black Cats, that is Sunderland Football Club. We could be facing Sunderland next season if we go up, and if Sunderland don't go up to the Premier League. I mean, if you've seen that Championship table, it's absolutely mental at the moment. Honestly, I can't believe it. But, honestly, I'm really excited to see how the second half of League One unfolds, especially with the new signings we made. Again, it's a shame Whittaker's left, but what can you do? I guess Swansea wanted him back, unless we somehow sign him from Swansea. But to be fair, that would be great anyway, because I absolutely love Morgan Whittaker to bits. But that's all I wanted to cover, really, regarding Jay Matete. So whoever has tuned into this short live, I appreciate you coming in. Honestly, cheers for that. Before I go, don't forget to watch this later on. My Bolton Wanderers episode is coming out. Bolton 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, away to Fogden's Army. My 20th episode of League One 2022-23 this season, which has got Theo in it. And it's got big shout out to Ben's Football Vlogs, another Bolton fan who was in this video as well. He appeared also on the Argyle Ways preview for Bolton Wanderers versus Plymouth Argyle. So please Give this video a watch when it premieres at 5 o'clock. I worked so hard to make this video in the last 2 days. It's a 53-minute episode, so please sit back and enjoy my content. And I know it's spoilers already, but literally, once this video is fully premiered, to people who do want to look at the match straight away, the match starts at 19 minutes pretty much in this video. So yeah, please give that Bolton Plymouth video a watch at 5 o'clock when it premieres, because that felt huge, that away day did. It was a long day. It was a big club versus a big club. I met one of my favourite YouTubers, one of the who's got obviously over 1 million subscribers. Honestly, please watch it. Please watch it. I still can't believe I met Theo. And if you do watch this, Theo, honestly, thank you so much for coming on my my video for Bolton Wanderers versus Plymouth Argyle. So yeah, no, honestly, cheers for that. Cheers for that, mate. And I'm hoping to see you very soon as well. Honestly, absolute pleasure. And yeah, to everyone else who's going to watch the video later on and in the next few days before I go to Ipswich, and of course, obviously watch the Bolton Plymouth video anytime you like. That's what all my videos are there for. But yeah, cheers for watching this, guys. And yeah, I will see you, well, I'm going to Bristol Rovers tomorrow night, so that will be my next video, I think. So yeah, up the Greens, up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. PAFC, the team for me.